Live from New York, it's a show that's debuting a brand new segment that we had kicked around a few weeks ago. Hey!
We or you?
What's going on?
I do like that. I do like that.
You like that?
When are we doing it?
I love it. I'm waiting for it to
I
start.
think we might just freestyle one. Hey! What's going on? It's like a Four Non-Blondes thing. Do you remember that? You remember Four Non-Blondes?
Like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hey!
What's going on?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you like that?
Or a positive, too. What's a positive one?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, exactly.
Hey!
What's going on? I got another one.
Go ahead.
Ashton Genty. What's going on?
No, hey.
That's not a good one.
No, hey.
Oh, hey. What's going on?
They can't block for him. Answer them. There you go.
It's a good segment.
Well, I do like Genty, so.
You do, Brou.
That might be it.
Brou.
I do.
Brou.
He likes him.
You like everyone, which means you like no one.
Hey! What's going on? It's First Things First Bowl 3. Two great pictures of Brou.
I'm wearing a robe.
A
You
great
look
custom
great.
robe.
Nick is wearing Louis Vuitton.
Do you still have that Louis Vuitton thing?
Yeah, of course.
looks
I
great.
told you, I had to order it secondhand from Sweden.
It looks
Express shipping. It was very expensive.
Both teams 1 and
And
2,
you got
but a good 1 and
highlights
2.
in your hair.
No, I don't have
And
highlights in
Put
my
that
hair.
back up.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have highlights?
That's just the Washington Post picture.
What is that? That's
No,
our
the
highlights.
Washington
Your hair is
Post
not
era.
red.
It looks
on
nice.
this.
I'm just
I
telling
like
you.
it.
that
I like it too.
there's
Did you
no
do that for the shot?
Yeah.
No,
You put a little
that's
sun in.
how it looks.
No, it's good. Put a little lemon
not
juice in
true.
there in the summer.
It looks like highlights.
All right, can we get
It
to
looks
the
good,
show?
I think. The Ravens will be there on time.
Hold on, before you even ask
I
questions.
like what he
Oh, yeah.
said.
Oh, here we go.
Well, yesterday it didn't work, but every time we talk about this game, first things first.
Excellent.
Let's go. Just so everybody knows the stakes.
Absolutely.
Can Mahomes outplay Lamar Jackson?
I'm offended by the question.
Okay.
And so if it said will, I would not be offended by the question.
Oh, okay.
I think given the level Lamar has played at this year and last year, and the year before for that matter, in the regular season,
He was the MVP.
and the level Mahomes has played at up to this point this season, the will would be a totally fair question.
Okay.
The can makes it outright offensive because they've played 6 times and Mahomes has done it every single time, including last year when Lamar was great, the year before when Lamar was great, when Mahomes was supposed, right. And so I will just quickly show America the 6 matchups. The first one ever was the closest Lamar ever came to, you could argue, outplaying Patrick. He had the higher passer rating, the best passer rating he's had in these matchups. Unfortunately for him, the defining play of the game was this one by Patrick that he came on our show a couple years ago, back when he would come on our show before Wilds took so many shots at him he won't come on anymore, which he called his favorite play of his career. That was a 4th down with, I mean, you can see it, a minute left, 4th down a touchdown to save the game that they went on to win. That was their first
I
ever.
gotta be honest too.
Yeah.
That's so Ravens. There's like 4 dudes right there. I mean, it could have been an interception.
So that's
so Ravens, unironic. That's so Ravens.
I hate to say it.
That was
That's my
great.
team,
That's so
but,
Raven.
man,
That's
yeah,
good.
that was totally
the next time they played is the only time Lamar has, or I'm sorry, he won the one after. The next time they played, Patrick thoroughly outplayed him in 2019. The next time they played was the only game, or I guess I'm wrong about which one they won. My apologies. But regardless, Patrick once again, 400 yards, a 133 rating.
That's back when he was.
That was a domination. Right, when Patrick was, he didn't win league MVP that year, but almost did. This next one has to be the one the Ravens won. I'm not trolling here.
Yeah.
This is the one. I just had the order wrong. That Baltimore won, but again, that was not Lamar. Right. Lamar wasn't amazing in that game as far as a ball security perspective. He ran like crazy in that game. I think he had 120 on the ground, which is why the passer rating is what it was. And then we know the other times they've played what's happened. Again, AFC Championship game. Lamar had a bunch of yards, but much like the iconic play of the first game was a play we all remember. The most notable play for the two guys from this game was, as coach would call it, this pass into the team meeting in the fourth quarter to lose the game. And then last year, they played in week 1, and once again, Patrick won and outplayed him. So the narrative has gone a bit too far. If there is any matchup that exists where we are asking, can Patrick outplay the opposing team's quarterback, particularly when Patrick is going to be going against maybe the worst defense in football right now. So yes, Patrick can outplay
Was that
Lamar.
Dusty with the wording? Can?
I don't know.
No, we all
I think
okayed
we
it.
agreed
It wasn't
on
me.
it,
Of course he can. I mean, despite his mediocre statistical play over this year, last year, the year before to some degree, he's still, over the course of his career, the best quarterback I've ever seen. And he's still in his prime. And so, yes, he absolutely can outplay anybody. Josh Allen, Lamar,
Sure.
whoever it might be. But on Sunday, I expect Lamar to certainly have better statistics. All right, that was interesting. You showed it because he hasn't really been great statistically against the Chiefs. But Lamar has become amazing in the regular season. He's like LeBron now. Like, LeBron never has bad games. Even for LeBron, what's a bad game? It's still 25, 8, and 5 or something like that. Like, Lamar, his last 18 games in the regular season, these are his numbers.
It's unbelievable.
128 passer rating, 48 touchdowns. That's passing, not including rushing. 48 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
I think if you look at those 3 interceptions, I think there's a handful of in guys' hands.
Yeah,
too.
probably. His accuracy is off the charts. And then the yards per attempt, too, is phenomenal. And, Nick, that passer rate, 18 games, obviously more than a
that
full
would be
season,
the record for a year.
by 6 points.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers has the record for a single season, 122. So, and in that stretch, I think Lamar's had 2 games where he hasn't had a passer rating of at least 101. 128 average. Mahomes hasn't had a game with a 128 passer rating since 2023. It's like a stretch of 28 games.
Is that the regular season only?
Regular
for Patrick?
season, yeah, because he did in the playoffs. But regular season, he hasn't. Here's where, even if Lamar is better statistically, and I do expect him to be better statistically, the question is, though, like, Mahomes is still great situationally. Even if he doesn't have big numbers, third down. Who's going to be better on third down conversion?
Who's not going to
turn the ball over, have a bad turnover? Or who's going to, even a run. Now, obviously, Lamar is a tremendous runner, a better runner than Mahomes, but who might have that back-breaking scramble? These are the things that Mahomes has been better at and Lamar hasn't been as good at. So it's those things situationally where Mahomes, even without a big statistical day, could top Lamar. But I think statistically, Nick, I think Lamar is going to definitely have a better.
Lamar has not done well against Spags defense, flatly. And so I don't know that I necessarily agree that statistically he's going to have a better game. I guess we'll see. I also think, and it really reared its head in that Lions game, but this year, if this is not a Josh stat, this is a Nick stat, so Josh, you can double check me on this. There have been 21 red zone sacks in the NFL this season. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
5 of Lamar Jackson, 16 by the other 31 quarterbacks. That doesn't show up in any of those numbers of passer rating. And
but
I think Lamar's been
situational.
But that's right. And so there is an element of, you know what I mean, that part of so many of Lamar's greatest highlights that we could think of are plays where he could have, would have, should have been sacked, avoids it, and then hits somebody. Mm-hmm. And, the tax on that is sometimes you do end up actually getting sacked. He's not throwing the ball away. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's not giving up on a play, which I think can be hugely productive and worthwhile in most of the field of play, so to speak. In the red zone, it can hurt you. You know what I mean? Because it can take points off the board or hurt you from
And they should
scoring.
be. Last year, they were the best red zone team in the league.
Yep.
This year, they're mediocre. They should be great in the red zone.
KW, can I ask you something? Because you seem very, very, from pre-show to now, for a guy who praise at the altar of quarterback wins.
Oh, yeah.
And a huge part of your Jalen Hurts argument has been the numbers are not irrelevant, but only of minor importance because the team is winning. You sure have abandoned Mahomes very quickly because of starting 0-2. And it's shocking to me. It would make more sense if you were if you weren't so steadfast about the only quarterback stat you care about is winning. And last year he won more than any player in the league except for Jalen.
Yep.
The year before they won the whole thing. The year before they won the whole thing and he won league MVP. This year they started 0-2, and you seem out entirely.
Because my Patrick Mahomes eye test is failing me, and I want to find a reason. Maybe it's no Xavier Worthy, maybe it's no Rashee Rice, but he's completing 15. Here's Lamar and Patrick Mahomes this year. Lamar looks like the same guy he has been.
He looks almost better.
And the weird part is he looks like a different guy in the playoffs.
Yes.
And we are just like, the numbers support it, your eye supports it, his kind of demeanor supports it.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is a different guy in the playoffs, and he looks like which is the last time I saw him, and he looks like a different guy than he was. Now, maybe that's just because of the receivers being out. Travis Kelce feels like he aged a little bit more rapidly in the offseason than we had expected. But with the completion percentage of 59, that's in between Russell Wilson, who just lost his job, and Michael Penix, who everybody around the league is saying, hey, what's going on with Penix?
So I wish you would focus on something other than completion percentage.
Why?
Because last year, when we were showing all of these Mahomes having his worst year ever graphic, what they showed was his career worst rating, yards per game, yards per attempt, and career best completion percentage. Last year, I think the only stat Patrick was top 5 in the league in was completion percentage. I just think
but 59 is unusually low.
No, 59's low. Yeah, I agree. But so I don't think that's an indicator.
I know, but can I just
passer rating?
Yes,
and it might be because we look at the Chiefs games through a fine-tooth comb, but missing that Tyquan Thornton run, missing Kelce, just like little ones that even Collinsworth is like, oh, that seems weird.
The Kelce one seemed weird. The Thornton one, I don't. He then.
Bad.
I know.
Right, but then he made a harder one.
I know.
But again,
but
it's just about
the 40 seconds, and then last week he hit Thornton on back-to-back perfect deep bunts.
I know.
And so
but there has been more.
Okay.
What's going on?
He hasn't looked himself.
I agree. I agree with that. I've said that.
But situationally, he's still that's where he's. Even last year,
I don't know
when
if
he
the third down numbers support
last year, situationally, he was great.
But I don't.
No, this year because the
third
team
down,
was
right?
terrible on third down the first 2 games.
Yeah.
No.
Again, it's a small sample size, so it's strange. But Lamar has to.
You gotta get over.
That's what. Right.
It was like last
is
year
another
with Pittsburgh.
Instance, right, but it's also it feels also like the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, when the Ravens had the number 3 offense, the number 1 defense. The Chiefs that was the first time we had seen the Chiefs struggle in a regular season. They were on the road. There was a receiving core that was healthy, but worse than this one. It felt like you had to get over the hump there. They didn't. Then last year, they didn't even get an opportunity to get over the hump because they lost to Buffalo. Lamar has to win.
Lamar has to win.
Lamar has to win. You're favored. You have the
beat up.
Right. You have to win. It's a sad thing that he won't.
Odd.
Yeah.
One issue with the Ravens,
Lamar?
do this quickly, it's been Derrick Henry's fumbling. 3 fumbles in 3 straight games, 2 in the fourth quarter. He is not happy about it. Okay, so here's the data, Brou. 647 rushes from 23 to 24, 2 years. Fumbles, 3. 2025, 41 rushes, fumbles, 3. And he's lost 2 and only lost 1 in the previous 36 games. Are you worried?
It's interesting because watching him against Buffalo before the fumble, but just the whole game, and then that first drive against Detroit, where he broke the 20-something yard touchdown run. I'm thinking to myself, is he maybe getting in the argument for like a top 5 running back of all time? Like, he is phenomenal, and his longevity.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 years he's averaged 5.9 yards a carry. All right. So then, of course, after the fumbles, I stopped thinking that. I said, let me put that on the table for now. But to answer your question, no, I'm not worried at all. And your numbers showed it. I had, maybe yours included playoffs, I had the last 2 years, previous 2 years, 605 carries, 3 fumbles.
Yeah.
This year he's got 41 carries, 3 fumbles. So I think this is an aberration. Now, I'm sure he's been working on just holding it high and tight and making sure every time he touches the ball, he's not getting careless with it, because guys are obviously punching at it. But he's, like I said, he's averaging 5.9 yards a carry. I don't think the fumbles are a sign of age. I think it's just.
Yeah, it's weird people trying to make that.
No, I don't think that's age at all. But do you see some signs of age? Because I don't.
Well, the last 2 games he's been bad. I'm not calling that age.
I think the Browns have the best run defense in the league. He had 23 yards. That was. So you do need a hole still.
Tell that to Ashton
No, I'm
Jensen.
saying that. That's what I'm liking.
So right now, this is going to pollute almost all of our NFL conversations until about week 6, which is like, if a team really struggles against a team, that team they struggle against will then have their stats inflated to where it's like, look, Derrick Henry couldn't run against Cleveland. So a third of Cleveland's run defense stats for the year are Derrick Henry struggling.
But you don't.
So
think
they are now a great run defense.
Very good run defense.
I do. What I'm saying is it's a cousin
of the like. It's a small sample size.
Here's the record of the teams, the undefeated teams have played, but it's like a third of their losses came to those teams. Whatever. I mean, it's just hard to draw huge conclusions on this size of sample.
If he were aging, I don't think he does that to Buffalo. I even think the first drive and even just the game period against Detroit, it's the fumbles.
So
other than the fumbles, I have no problem.
I didn't think the game against Detroit he was very good.
After the first drive, he wasn't, but that. I mean, I don't care how good you are. Your line needs to block. Saquon, to me, is still great. Hasn't had a great running game.
No,
yet.
I agree with that, but I do think it is stark if we look at his week 1 versus the last 2 weeks. The numbers, I don't care about the fumbles so much. And here's the thing. It really is pre and post the fumble against Buffalo. Because he didn't touch the ball again after the fumble against Buffalo. Or if he did, it was, minimal. And he's just been bad since then.
But that first drive again, I know it was one drive, but against Detroit,
I thought he had one.
You don't see that many 20-some-odd yard touchdown runs in today's NFL.
He had an awesome play to score a touchdown in that first drive. What I'm saying is, I think, should Brou be worried about Henry? A little.
I'm not at all. Not at all.
I mean, okay, I think that since he's been a Raven, and this is a similar thing, since Saquon has been an Eagle, of his 5 worst games, 3 of them are the 3 to start this year. Since, that's a little concerning.
So they should be worried about Saquon.
A little.
Not the run game.
I don't think it's a full-on, hey, what's going on? No, I think you can be a little worried.
I also think that, especially because we have seen for both of these backs and for basically all backs not named Emmitt Smith of the last 35 years, that after year of super high workload, they have a dip and then can come back.
I'm not worried.
We saw it with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had a dip and then came back.
He's still, top 5 in rushing yards?
Again,
that's a reason to be worried, bro. If Patrick Mahomes fumbles the ball, I think he goes back to the sidelines. He's like, shoot. If Derrick Henry gets the ball punched out, I think that he has no room for error anymore. Like, you don't think
you mean again?
against
he's
the
saying
I thought you were talking about.
No, Spags is going to be like, guys, when Derrick Henry has the ball,
they're
you're
going
turning
after
into
it.
Yes.
But that's what teams do that all the time.
But now extra now that he's a little loose with it.
That's
and if he
fine.
loses it, I think it's fair to wonder if his head is going to be in the game if he's lost 4 fumbles in 4 straight games.
Well, if he fumbles again, then you keep fumbling, sure. I thought you were going to talk about his spazzing out on the sidelines because that seemed to bother you. To me, I don't mind a player getting emotional. How many times did Tom Brady break the freaking screen?
I think we looked at that differently because I thought that was a leftover emotion from week 1. You thought that was
because he said going into the game he had fumbled in the last 2 games, so now it's 3 straight. So he's just.
But if he fumbles in this game, he's going to be out here looking like Travis.
Well,
Kelce.
if he fumbles,
yelling at Harbaugh, I'm losing his mind.
If he fumbles, I don't expect him to fumble.
The distinction I would draw is Brady's stuff on the sideline, Travis's stuff on the sideline, gave anger, and Derrick's thing almost was like, woe is me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't take it as woe is me. I took it as frustration. Like I'm pissed at myself. That's what I took it as.
Okay. I take it as woe is me.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, like.
Just upset.
I'm surprised, Brou, that you don't have any. You seem fully confident that and I'm not trying to bring the Eagles into it, but that the Ravens and maybe to the same extent Eagles are going to get the same level of running back play.
No, not like last year. I did expect Saquon to go for about 1,500. Yeah. Obviously, that looks like that's going to be a stretch.
But what about Henry, who had 1,900
I think he'll go over like 1,200 at easy. Like and when I'm looking at just him still being a great running back. Like I said, he's averaging 6 yards a carry. 6 yards a carry.
It was 9 yards in week 1. It's been 3 yards since then. Like
the Browns. I know it's weird. I think
they do have a good defense.
The Browns have a really good defense. The Lions, I don't know that they have a really good defense.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. They shut down Derrick Henry. Okay, Jalen has only 1-4 against the Bucs. He's completed less than 60% of his passes, averages more than a turnover a game. So do the 3-0 Eagles have something to prove against Tampa Bay?
Prove, no. But this is the last team to beat them in the regular season with Jalen playing the full game. And the last 2 times they've played Tampa Bay, they've gotten blown out. And the game, blown out. Because 33-16 last year, 32-9 in the playoffs. So I don't think they have something to prove, but to themselves, just look, they've beaten us the last 2 times. Let's erase those memories in our minds and in theirs too. All right. And I think this is great for the Eagles because you're 3-0. You've won 17 of your last 18 games. You're coming off a big comeback win against a really good team. You've already beaten the Chiefs in Kansas City. You could easily relax and, get complacent. But not with Tampa Bay being on the schedule because of what they've done to you in the past. So I think this is great for the Eagles. I think Jalen will play well, and the Eagles are going to win.
Look, yes, they have something to prove. Every week starts a fresh week for coaches, and they always try to come up with a theme to kind of motivate the team. Well, naturally, they don't need one. Because this team has had their number, despite who's been in or out of the lineup when these 2 teams have met. The Eagles have not fared well against the Bucs. And Jalen, with the exception of the last game, has had a decent game, but he gets sacked. They get dominated in time of possession in the losses, completely dominated. And typically, all but one time, the team who's able to rush the ball the best wins the game. And so when you look at these things, you look at the Bucs, right now they're injured, they're banged up. And if you struggle with this team, a team that we all believe, and I'm sure they believe, is going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who they might have to go through, or they might see each other again. And when you haven't had success as a team, not individual success, but as a team, both player and Jalen Hurts, coach and Nick Sirianni, they're both a part of this. Yes, you have to prove that we can beat this team. We're better than this team.
So this is so interesting because the Bucs are my Super Bowl pick. I'm probably higher on the Bucs going into the year and right now than, just about anybody. And I'm probably a touch lower on the Eagles than certainly anybody on this show. Like, I think they're a good team, but I think at full strength, the Bucs are better. I think at full strength, the Lions could be better. Like, I'm not quite as high on the Eagles as the rest of the show. And yet, I think this weekend, the Eagles are at such a stark advantage that I was looking at this like the Eagles have to go out, should use this as an opportunity to go out and prove we actually can have an opening game script that is explosive, that works, that moves the ball downfield. Because we haven't had that yet. Even against the Cowboys, it was Jalen, you know what I mean? They weren't able to throw the ball effectively down the field. First game of the year, maybe. Right, that's what I'm talking about. The first game of the year, but that was, again, it wasn't throwing the ball. They were calling pass plays, but he wasn't seeing it and he was running. Tampa is going to be without likely 3/5 of its offensive line. Mike Evans, they are so banged up. And I know Philly's dealing with some injuries now as well, but they're not cluster injuries in one spot of the ball. That I think Philly should go into this game recognizing Jalen was frustrated with last week's game plan. We saw it on the sideline. He kind of put a little voice to it after the game. A.J. Brown's been frustrated. This is an opportunity, if we show the Eagles' passing numbers, to come out and make things easier on Saquon moving forward by improving this. Because one of my theories as to why Saquon is struggling or not being as productive is every team feels like they know, man, it doesn't matter what type of looks we give you. If we stack the box, we play single high, you're still running the ball. And if they come out, certainly early in games they are, if they come out with a pass-heavy opening script, I think it will open things up for Saquon moving forward. I think that you will see lighter boxes. You will see more too-high safety, and then Saquon can pop more. Like, I look at this game as the Eagles, even though and the Vegas agrees with me, I guess, because they're on the road against an undefeated team. They're more than a field goal favorite. As a game, the Eagles have a bit of a margin for error game plan-wise. So I would say, you know what, Jalen and A.J. Brown, you pretty clearly want us to lean on you a little more in these spots. We will. Because if I'm Kevin Patullo, the new offensive coordinator, I have to have the humility to say, my game plan for the Rams game was terrible. You know what I mean? My game plan for the Rams game was not the right one. We were very lucky to even be able to come back in that game, and it was because I did what I didn't want to do, which is throw the ball a ton. So
well, that would be the case against anybody, right?
What do you mean?
Come out and throw the ball a little bit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You guys are, that's why I'm saying I'm looking at it differently. You guys are looking at it more as like the Buccaneers have had the Eagles' number. I think the Eagles have right now the swagger of a team. Nobody's got our number. Somebody had to be the last team to beat us. It happened to be you.
But they better win this game. Like, I think the priority in this game, because I agree that they should throw the ball more, especially downfield. But this game, it's like win. This is one of those, I don't care if they win ugly. They just need to win. And then if it comes with all that, then fine. But in this game, my priority as the Eagles would be, we just got to go out, get out of there with a W.
But don't you think that they should feel like we can do that
a little bit
by throwing the ball?
Like a little bit of like an experimentation.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like. I don't want to experiment.
Yeah, maybe it's been a year.
I'm trying to win.
But it shouldn't be. I guess my point is, and this is me, kind of, I guess, it's having a take you could have or should have, like that. It should not be considered risky or experimenting to say, hey, $50 million a year Super Bowl MVP. We're having a you-focused game plan. With a multi-time first-team All-Pro receiver here, a great receiver there, a good tight end, awesome offensive line. It is not. This isn't like, hey, Jackson Dart, go out there.
But are they doing it? I'll ask you, Greg. Are they doing it because that's what Tampa Bay is allowing, or are they doing it because media pressure, a little bit of Jalen, a little bit of A.J. Brown?
And this is where I'm like, they have a recipe.
Yeah.
And it is working. It just doesn't look good to us. It's not what we want to see. We always want to see a little bit more because we've seen more. But I understand what you're saying. But if the recipe works and we're able to adjust on the fly if we need to, then I don't care what anybody is saying. Right. I don't care if are we all bought in. Are we all into what we're trying to get accomplished?
But it feels like that's trying to fracture.
Because the recipe didn't work against the Rams. They cooked a whole meal, and it was so bad they ordered takeout, and it was delicious, and everyone was happy. The recipe changed right after halftime. And like if I'm Kevin Patullo and I'm the Eagles' offensive coordinator, I can't say, man, if Jordan Davis didn't get his hand up, I would be saying, all right, we need to adjust because finally the game plan, we lost the game. But because he did, I now need to act like everything went according to plan. To me, the Eagles team gets credit, massive credit for winning the game. The offensive game plan, in my opinion, in that Rams game was bad. And they didn't win because of it. They won despite it. That's the distinction I would draw.
Dallas, we have a problem. We traded Micah Parsons, and now he's going to return to a hero's welcome. Not getting a tribute video doesn't bother him. For your reaction.
He's right on the money. Like, what was disrespectful is you refusing to talk to my agent. What was disrespectful was you talking to me and thinking that was the deal. You know, disrespectful that every other team in the league pays a future Hall of Famer and you wouldn't pay me. Disrespectful to act like once I'm traded, our defense got better. Like, even though there's no statistical evidence or eye test evidence to say that. So all of that's disrespectful. Then there were rumblings. There were some reports about locker room, some players not digging Micah and all that stuff. So he's right. The video, he was only there 4 years. You never won a playoff game. It wasn't his fault, but it wasn't like some fantastic era for the Cowboys that he spearheaded.
Right?
Well, I'm sorry, they won one.
They
won one
Tom
playoff
Brady
game.
and the Bucs,
It might have been the first year.
Yeah.
They won one playoff game. But again, largely a disappointing team run during his tenure. So, no, and I expect Micah to go crazy. One, Dallas isn't that good. I think he will get multiple sacks.
Wow.
But more than that, he will open it up for and Rashawn Gary, who's been getting a ton of sacks, is probably going to get another one or two. And I just think they're going to focus on Mike and try to stop him. It's going to open it up for other guys.
Yeah, so I'm cool with Micah saying this. I mentioned this yesterday. Like, as players, you don't think, oh, I'm going to get a tribute video, or I would love to have a tribute video. You don't even think about that. So if a team chooses to do it, so be it. However, what I can relate to, and I know he feels this, and you don't say it, like, your feelings are hurt. Like, yes, and you take it as disrespect, and some of it may very well be. But more than even the disrespect, man, I told y'all, I pretty much told you how I felt about you. I told you I wanted to be here. I told you I wanted to do whatever it took for us to get it done. And then you just threw me away. Like, there's a feeling of your feelings are just hurt. And so naturally, he's going to,
You got dumped.
Basically, naturally, you're going to want to take it out on everybody.
Weird place right now.
No,
You did get dumped.
Too emotional.
So, I think
That's what it's like, though.
I think we saw it. We saw it with the other future first ballot Hall of Famer that was traded out of the city of Dallas. He was devastated.
Yes.
Now, Micah's was different in that Luka was blindsided by it. Where it's similar is that I've been excellent, and I've given you no indication up to, for Micah, the trade request. I wanted to be elsewhere, and my play hasn't dipped. Right. I haven't dipped. And in Micah's case, while, yes, he did ask for a trade when things broke down, he reminded us this was the team he grew up wanting to play for in the Dallas Cowboys, that he was. So I think that I'm really glad, even though Wild's made fun of you, but they're being mean to you, Greg.
They
just because
are,
I
man.
called you chubby. I was kidding. I've known you for a decade. It's different.
I'm not being mean.
They think that they have the relationship with you that I
don't.
do. It's crazy. They don't sit on the table.
He called you chubby.
Yeah, that's all right, but we're always like that. Understood. We get that language.
You can't do it.
Exactly. That's right. But I think we forget the logistics of being traded. Like, I have to move my family, that part of it. And then the emotion of, man, You actually didn't want me anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
and so I think that's a real piece of it.
You know what this is?
What?
Take chip. I'd like to put a take chip on a part of the board that no one.
Okay.
That's wide open on the. You know
The take roulette
the
wheel.
take roulette wheel. No one's playing this. Bad game for Micah. Just one chip. Bad game.
I
know it's like he's gonna be on fire. He's gonna. Just putting it out there.
Here's the
just an invisible game.
So
I don't think Sean Eimer is not going to let, or Eberflus.
He's going to double him and all
Yes,
that.
Sean Eimer's like, do
But
not let this guy beat us.
So that's
Yeah,
kind of
see,
why I think it's impossible for him to have a bad
That could
game.
be a good game.
Because
Invisible
I
game.
think he's going to draw so much
Yes,
attention
it's-
that other guys will, even if he
Gary
is
has
not
3
great
sacks.
himself, the attention he draws is going to be there and it's going to open
I'm
things
just
up for
putting
everyone.
This is the benefit of playing defense.
I know.
Like,
The only bad game's a loss.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.